So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our graph and we're going to move it based on what they're doing to our equation. So, I started with the graph of h of x. I want to move my graph, and what is this minus 2 going to do to my graph? Based on what we just did on those 3 previous ones. If I put a minus 2, how's it going to move my graph?
It's just going to add 0? You're just going to put 0?
Nope.
Negative?
What's the minus 2 going to do? If I took my equation and I put a minus 2 on the end, how is it going to move my graph? Is it going to move up or down?
It's going to move down.
It's going to move down how many places?
2.
2. So I have to know that this is going to move my graph down 2. And what you're going to do is there's going to be a little tool that's going to kind of look like a finger, and you're going to take this point and you're just going to move it down 2 places. So that point's going to end up here, and then the rest of your graph is going to draw out by itself. You won't have to draw the graph. You're just going to grab it with the little hand tool and pull it down 2 places.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Now, notice the difference between 8 and 7. On 7, you had f of x minus 2, and the minus 2 was hanging out on the end, right?
Yep.
Well, what happens now when it's in the parentheses instead of on the end moves it up or down. In the parentheses, we'll move it left or right because it's going to affect the x-axis. So what I have to do is I have to take that and set it equal to 0. And then I have to solve that. If I'm going to solve that, what am I going to do?
You're going to bring the 3 over?
And make it a plus 3, right?
Yeah.
So that tells me that I'm going to move 3 places on my x-axis, and my x-axis goes left and right. So this means it's going to go 3 to the right because it's positive. So I'm going to take my little dot right in the middle at 0, 0. I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 places over. That's going to move that dot here. And then the graph is just going to redraw, if I could draw, over there 3 places to the right. So, if I have this, it moved it down 2. If I would happen to have this, it would move it up 3. When I have it like this, I actually have to do some solving. It moved it 3 to the right. Look at the next one. The next one has f of x plus 2. So notice that one is like this second one here where it was in the parentheses, right? If I can find it again. Oops, that one right there. So this is when I have to say, okay, I got to say x plus 2 equals 0 first of all. And when I move my 2 over, it's going to be negative 2, which means it's going to move it to the
left.
To the left. So I'm going to take my point that's marked, move it back 2 places, and then it's going to draw my graph 2 places to the left. Okay? So if it's not in the parentheses, it's moving it up or down, the same direction because you don't have to do any solving. If it is in the parentheses, it's going to move it left or right, but we have to solve it first before we know which way it goes. If we look at enough of them, we know, but because we have to do the opposite, right, when we move it over.